Staying away from you has become one of the most formidable challenges of my life, a constant struggle that I face each day with little success. It is a battle between logic and emotion, and more often than not, my heart loses. Your absence has created a void so vast that nothing seems capable of filling it. I wake up and go to sleep with the weight of missing you pressing heavily on my chest, wondering where you are, what you're doing, and how life is treating you. Not knowing these things leaves me restless, as though a part of my mind is always searching for you, reaching out into the unknown and finding nothing but silence. The uncertainty gnaws at me relentlessly, keeping me in a state of quiet turmoil. You've distanced yourself so deeply that I can no longer even sense your presence or energy the way I once could. It feels as though an invisible wall has been erected between us, turning what was once closeness into an unbearable distance. That separation feels less like physical space and more like an emotional chasm, wide, deep, and impossible to cross. Even so, I find myself standing at the edge of it every day, hoping there might still be a way back. You've changed, and that change is more profound than anything I've ever witnessed before. It's as if you've shed an old version of yourself and stepped into a new identity, leaving behind someone I once knew intimately but can no longer fully recognize. And yet, despite the unfamiliarity, I can sense your growth. It radiates from you in subtle but powerful ways. It's evident in how you carry yourself, in the confidence behind your decisions, and in the life you've chosen to build. You've matured emotionally and financially, developing a sense of stability and self-assurance that I once only imagined for you. It speaks volumes about your resilience, determination, and inner strength, qualities that have always drawn me to you and continue to inspire me now. Your courage to prioritize self-care and personal growth is something I deeply admire. Choosing yourself, especially after everything we endured, required immense bravery. It meant confronting discomfort, letting go of familiar patterns, and walking forward even when the path was uncertain. While it hurts to see you moving ahead without me by your side, I cannot deny the pride I feel watching you become stronger. There is something profoundly admirable about the way you refuse to stay stuck, choosing instead to rise above your circumstances and invest in your own healing. Circumstances were not in our favor, and they led us to make the painful decision to part ways, a decision born not out of a lack of love, but out of necessity. We had to choose our own well-being, even though it meant letting go of something deeply meaningful. As we stepped away and focused on ourselves, we began individual journeys of self-discovery. Through that process, we changed. We evolved into different versions of who we once were, and in doing so, the entire dynamic of our situation transformed. Growth, while necessary, came at the cost of togetherness. Despite everything, the yearning to have you back in my life remains constant. It is a quiet ache that never truly fades, no matter how much time passes. The thought of spending the rest of my life without your love, presence, and support feels unbearable. It's a future I struggle to imagine and one I don't want to accept. You were my safe place, my source of comfort, and the person who made life feel purposeful even in its darkest moments. You were the light that guided me out of shadows I didn't think I could escape, and losing that light has left me trying to navigate on my own. Your absence is a loss I feel deeply every day. It's present in the silence, in the moments I instinctively want to share with you, and in the dreams that still carry traces of us. I try to fill the void with distractions, growth, and self-reflection, but nothing truly replaces what we had. Still, despite the pain and longing, I hold on to hope. Hope that time, growth, and healing might one day realign our paths. Hope that what was once broken might find a way to mend. Until that day comes, I will continue to cherish the memories we created and the love we shared. I will carry them with me as a reminder of what was real, meaningful, and transformative. I will continue to grow, just as you have, trusting that life has its reasons even when they are difficult to understand. And above all, I will hold on to the belief that someday, somehow, we may find our way back to each other. Because in the end, it's you who matters to me most. It has always been you. And no matter where life leads us, it will always be you. Your person is presently undergoing a profound phase of divine judgment, one that is rooted deeply in karmic law and the consequences of their own past actions. Everything unfolding in their life right now is not random or accidental, it is the direct result of choices, behaviors, and intentions they carried for a long time. At this stage, their life feels heavy with conflict, disappointment, emotional exhaustion, and inner chaos. Even though a new beginning is waiting for them on the horizon, they cannot step into it freely until they fully face, process, and clear the karmic debt they have accumulated. This phase exists specifically to ensure that nothing unresolved, dishonest, or fear-based is carried into the next chapter of their life. Before they are allowed to experience renewal, the universe is presenting them with the consequences of everything they avoided, denied, or mishandled in the past. They are being asked to confront the truth of who they have been, not who they pretended to be. The divine is stripping away illusions and forcing them to recognize that many of their previous choices were not grounded in unconditional love, authentic support, or emotional integrity. Instead, those choices often stemmed from ego, pride, false beliefs, jealousy, envy, insecurity, and unresolved negativity that they continued to hold on to. Now, all of this is rising to the surface so it can no longer be ignored. This moment in their life represents a powerful divine intervention. It is not gentle, and it is not optional. The universe is actively forcing your person to put an end to ongoing conflict, karmic cycles, destructive habits, and unhealthy relationships. Everything that was built on false foundations is now being dismantled. Situations, patterns, and connections that once felt familiar are collapsing because they were never aligned with truth or love. Someone or something in their current environment is creating intense disruption, pushing them toward a breaking point. This disruption is intentional, as it is meant to force them to walk away from people, places, and circumstances that have never truly served them and never will. Your person is being made to leave behind deceptive behaviors, avoidance tactics, and self-sabotaging habits. These ways of being may have once protected their ego or allowed them to escape responsibility, but they are no longer sustainable. The divine is making it clear that they cannot move forward while clinging to old patterns that harm both themselves and others. This clearing process is directly connected to the possibility of a new beginning with you and within this soul connection. What is happening now is not punishment for the sake of suffering, it is correction, alignment, and preparation according to divine will. At this time, your person is being pushed into situations that feel completely beyond their control. They are no longer able to manipulate outcomes, rely on others to fix things for them, or escape accountability. They are being forced to face their challenges alone, without the usual distractions or emotional crutches they once depended on. These experiences are deeply uncomfortable and destabilizing, especially because they are striking directly at their pride and ego. What they once used to define their strength or identity is now being dismantled piece by piece. This breakdown is necessary so they can finally release people, habits, environments, situations, and thought patterns that are not aligned with their highest self. The difficulties your person is currently facing are intense and overwhelming. They may feel as though everything they worked for is falling apart, or that they are losing stability in multiple areas of their life at once. Emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, they are being brought to a place of emptiness. This sense of loss is deliberate, because it is in this space that they are finally being reminded of you. When everything else fades away, you remain in their heart and consciousness as a point of truth, safety, and genuine connection. This moment marks the turning point from which they will begin moving back toward you and toward the soul connection you share. Divine or karmic judgment often brings pain and destruction before it brings clarity, and that is exactly what is happening now. Your person is experiencing conflict not only internally but also externally, particularly with friends and family members. There may be significant tension with a parental figure, such as a mother or father, or with someone who has held authority or influence over their life. These conflicts are forcing them to walk away from long-standing dynamics that were rooted in control, guilt, or emotional manipulation. The divine is urging them to let go of drama and of people who thrive on chaos, negativity, and constant conflict over trivial matters. Your person likely has individuals in their life who habitually create problems, stir emotional turmoil, or drain their energy. These people may be family members or part of a group they have been associated with for a long time. The divine intervention now occurring is making it impossible for your person to continue tolerating these dynamics. If these events have not fully unfolded yet, they are very close to happening. Divine timing is unique for every soul, but this phase is inevitable and imminent on their journey. From a place of deeper awareness, your person is now looking at you with genuine affection, respect, and remorse. They are regretting the times they disrespected or undervalued you, recognizing that you were one of the most sincere and loving presences in their life. They are beginning to see that every wrong they did to you is now returning to them through the behavior of their own friends, partners, and family members. The betrayal, neglect, and emotional pain they once caused are being mirrored back to them in ways they never expected. Your person is coming to a painful yet necessary realization: every time they chose another person or another relationship over you, it led them toward destruction and emotional disaster. These choices were driven by fear, insecurity, and a need for external validation rather than genuine love. Many of the relationships they entered were based on obligation, control, or convenience, where they felt they had no right to put themselves first or honor their true needs. Now, those same relationships are becoming sources of suffering, chaos, and emotional imprisonment. This nightmare phase in their life exists for one reason: to force them to leave on their own, consciously and willingly. The divine is not dragging them forward, it is making staying where they are unbearable. Through loss, conflict, and emotional breakdown, your person is being guided back toward truth, accountability, and authentic love. This is the necessary ending that must occur before a real beginning can finally take place.